Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we'll be watching a video from Inside a Mind. It's the man you've seen before but never heard of, and a recent viewer on my channel told me to go react to a skit called Dad, and we watched the whole act, so it's Act 1. And I swear I saw the guy, I've seen the guy before, but I couldn't remember where. Well, this story on another channel explains that, because he's rather famous, apparently. His name is Nathan Barnett. Barnett? Anyway, we've probably all seen him in a variety of either TV shows, commercials, or movies and things like that. And he's always like kind of a background character doing weird stuff. So that's where I recognized him. I just couldn't exactly remember who he was. Anyway, so we're going to watch a basically a mini documentary on who he is, and then we're probably going to start with Dad Act 2 after that, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. I'll probably get through all 4 acts within the next couple of days. Maybe I'll do them all today. I'm not sure. I'm kind of jumping around. I want to see the new Beetlejuice trailer, which apparently just dropped. We just saw the Wicked trailer, and that was pretty good. So yeah, we'll get into it.
This is Nathan Barnett, probably one of the most famous individuals you've never heard of.
I remember seeing that and be like, why?
From appearing in popular GIFs, to pulling dangerous stunts, to commercials and TV shows, he's been around for quite some time, and yet, there was one moment where he almost lost everything. This is the story of
Yeah, so I've seen him in this part
Nathan
right here.
Barnett.
That part was hilarious.
Before we continue, I have a question for you. How many of you watching more often than not listen to my videos in the background?
Oh, this is audible.
But like, I'm that guy that everyone's seen, but no one knows who they are. It's like, oh, that's that guy. That's that weird bald guy that's always dancing.
Nathan Barnett
Yeah, I've seen him in a ton of random things doing this, basically. But yeah, I've never actually known his name.
is a filmmaker, a stuntman, a dancer, and a content creator here on YouTube. In fact, he's been on here since the dawn of its creation.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My friend Paul, who's a director that I've worked with in the past, he's like one of my oldest best friends from Massachusetts. Then YouTube came out and I loaded a video on his channel in 2005.
Just flipping, smashing his head into the wall. I wonder if he's got a bunch of stunt stuff like that. We should watch some of his other stuff.
It was a cartoon that I made called Barricade, and that was my very first upload, like first year of YouTube. And then I started my channel in 2006 because he didn't want to keep loading my videos to his channel. I didn't make
He's like, yeah, your videos are a little too weird, dude.
a channel because I didn't understand. I actually mailed him a CD too with the QuickTime on it to Massachusetts from California.
He's like, what the heck is this?
And he loaded that as my very first video. And then after that, when I had made my channel, I started loading my videos in the Santa Monica Public Library on the computers at the public library because I didn't have a computer with the internet.
After uploading to YouTube for only a month, he found instant success.
Yeah, no wonder he would have found instant success. Look at this. This is hilarious. You know, I bet you he was probably one of the top people and on the front page of YouTube all the time for his videos, because at the time they were probably completely different than what's out now.
His first viral video being a clip from a short film he put together called We've All Got Problems.
And it was me on a pogo stick with my brother timing me with a stopwatch, and then I throw the pogo stick and it hits a guy in the face, and it's just kind of like a random moment that I thought worked as a video. So I put that on there just because I was trying to load some of my older things on YouTube, and that got like over 300,000 views in 2006.
Okay, 300,000 views in 2006 is insanity. I'm surprised I've never even seen this. We should definitely take a look at some of these.
And it had no audience. It was like no subscribers, and it was crazy to me. I was like, this is insane how many people have watched this. So right away it happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna load everything to here. And then I started doing more characters, and I had a lot of...
Don't forget, this is before YouTube was monetized in any way. For a long time.
Characters. I was performing at the Upright Citizens Brigade, so I was always workshopping things, and then everything I did live at the theater, I would then go and film in a video and put it on the internet. And then when it really started taking off was the character I did called...
I totally thought he was going to land on his head.
Trail Luaus.
Glad he didn't.
Who was the self-proclaimed spokesperson for Skittles and he can't even say the brand right. He says Skittles. So he's basically like a crazy guy in a back alley filming himself making commercials for a major company that doesn't need commercials, but he just really likes the candy.
Hey, it's me, it's Trail Wow. Give me a tasty Skittles, go.
And those got a lot of attention, and Skittles actually made me the spokesperson
Okay, that's funny because I was like, it just sounds like Skittles would be like, no, you need to stop doing this right now.
for Skittles for an entire year. And I got a Skittles vending machine, a boom
Okay, wait. We got to take a look at that vending machine a bit more. Okay. That vending machine is amazing. What is that? I would totally put that in the back of my office and just leave it there and never respond to anyone when they're like, what the hell is that? And I'd be like, I don't know, it's a vending machine.
a boom box that was a competition for a fan to fly out to LA and be in a commercial with me. They really jumped on board, so that was pretty wild. And then from there, that was like 2008 or something, and then the commercial happened in like 2011. So from there, things just started kind of going crazy, and a lot of the characters I would do would get more attention because there was more people watching.
Kind of reminds me of like he kind of reminds me of how Brandon Rogers started. Except, Brandon Rogers does like some of the most offensive shit in the world. He's like the nicer version of Brandon Rogers.
One of his biggest characters to date being Keith Apicary, a character that he's played so convincingly over the years that some people to this day don't even know that Keith is a completely fictional character. For a long period of time,
It's kind of like the same people who think Lake Wobegon is a real place when it's an entire fictional town.
Nathan preferred staying in character no matter the circumstances, and in some cases he still does. He had many videos on his channel where he would actively interact with the
He just hit the roof.
public and celebrities in character, which, not surprisingly, has gotten himself into some trouble by doing it.
Okay, everybody. Let's take it easy to Keith Apicary. I'm so hard you can't get it.
So, like, do these people, like, not know who he actually is, or they think he's just some crazy guy?
He's all right. I hope they don't. I hope they don't rough him up too badly at the backfield.
He's been thrown out of Comic-Con for climbing the building.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. I was actually in San Diego at the time, although I wasn't there for Comic-Con.
Even shattering his
Unless there was a different location. Comic-Con is there's also Kamikaze in LA. I don't remember if Comic-Con's in multiple locations. It probably is, but I do remember seeing it on the news. So at the very least, I saw it on the news.
foot after jumping off a 14-foot ledge. Probably a good time to say, please don't do this yourself. Nathan is a working professional and has been doing this for the majority of his life.
You know, what's funny is when he was sliding back down that thing, he fell off of the sculpture or whatever that is on purpose versus like because he could have held on.
Nathan seemed to be riding at
Wow.
an all-time high and was even starting to
wanna
make
see whatever
brief
video this
appearances
is.
in TV shows and commercials, but around 2012, a shift started to take place on the internet. The popularity of Facebook and Instagram kickstarted multiple accounts created by individuals that would dedicate their time to posting compilations of funny videos and images they found entertaining online. Problem is, none of the content they shared would get credit, and because this was a new thing, there were no rules or places
Welcome to the rise of reaction channels.
to report this content. So these accounts would actively get a way of stealing content from other creators, not giving them any credit, and then making profit off of it too. Due to
Yeah, so before 2012-ish, actually I think monetization was 2011. Actually, let's check that out for fun. Now it was definitely different back then, so there is that. But yeah, there was like zero checks and balances. Now even reaction channels though have a lot less checks and balances for for almost everything, and that's unfortunately a quirk of U.S. law. And since YouTube's a major U.S. company, it's a little bit. It's still complicated, and you know, a lot of YouTubers obviously hate our type of content, which is fine. It is what it is, but I mean, the big thing that YouTube really does is with reaction channels is they don't pay us a lot of money, so there is that. But still, we are still technically stealing views from the original creator. In this case, though, I mean, you know, Nathan's channel is kind of, you know, he hasn't been really uploading anything. He thinks his channel's dying, so there's a whole bunch of things involved with that. But I really want to see something. When was YouTube first monetized? Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So they actually did launch the partner program in 2007. But it looks like there were a lot more restrictions in place. Okay, so it was a very wild westy time of until around 2015, wasn't it? Everything started getting more streamlined. But you know, I bet you could make a ton of money in the beginning because it was probably unrestricted like crazy. But yeah, let's get into this.
Nathan's content involving extreme stunts and funny dancing in public, he was one of the biggest targets for this.
When I started making music videos is when things started getting stolen, because bands and DJs and different labels and music labels would take their own music and put it underneath my visuals, and they'd load it to Facebook where no one could really like copyright claim it and grab.
And the other part about that is Facebook didn't care, and they still really don't care. They kind of care, but they really don't.
Grab it, and I started seeing them. People would start tagging me in these videos from bands, and there was one band that it's a DJ that's really big, Afrojack, I think it was, had like 10 million views on a video that was all me, and it was all my filming, all my editing, and these videos would take me a month sometimes to film. And I'm trying to make a living off this, and now these people are taking them, all my work, and loading it to Facebook, and they're getting 10 times more views, and I'm not even getting credited. So they're not even like tagging me, which would be amazing, because then I would go up so many followers.
Yeah, just so you know, even though I'm a garbage trash reaction channel, I do put all the originals in the description. That's not enough for a lot of people, and I guess downvote my video.
Followers, and they'd find my original videos and my other work, and it was a real big bummer. And there was a time where my manager and I had an email list. Every time we found one or someone told us about a different video that was stolen, we'd add it to the email list. And there was like 100 different, like some of them are pretty small people with no views, but that we added every single one. My videos have been stolen, I swear, more than anybody. And it wasn't even the dance videos. It was just like my physical comedy montages, GIFs of me like falling down stairs. I have these videos called Gymnasty where I'd throw myself around gymnastic studios and just get hurt.
So my question here is, were they stolen and just automatically re-uploaded with no context, so it looked like it was an original from that new channel? Or was it like a reaction channel where they're doing like what I'm doing and breaking it down and talking about it? So that is the main difference for reaction channels. For instance, if a video is 8 minutes, it better be at least 25 minutes by the time you're done with a reaction channel. But I mean, a lot of one of the biggest problems with the reaction channels, and I understand why they do this, is especially when you think of music. Okay, so a music video, a lot of your commenters will literally hate when you pause every 10 seconds. They hate everything about that. They're like, just wait for the song to finish. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, then go watch it on the original channel. What is wrong with you? But they want to see the reaction in, you know, a more natural way versus someone, you know, stopping it and pausing and be like, hey, look at those you know, that the Olympic flag on the wall there, you know? Look at the gymnastic stuff. Look at that specific color of that specific mat with the flowers on it. You know, they don't want to see that. They want to see it just go all the way through, and then you have a small little blurb at the end. But there's a problem with that. That doesn't do enough to transform it. And the other issue is, you know, what I do is, you know, when I have full uploads, there's also the argument what I do may not be enough to transform it. For whatever reason, YouTube thinks there's enough, because I've had I have 400 videos up, and I've had probably 200 claims, but YouTube has automatically released at least 150 claims. And then I've also had multiple claims released from the actual creators with a note saying, "Oh, great reaction. I loved it. Here, we're releasing the claim for you." And then I also have a couple of channels that absolutely whitelist me, and they're like, "React to all of our stuff." So that's the thing. So you gotta, and then I also credit everyone. So I put all the original links everywhere. And if, like, for instance, for Nathan Barnett here, I'll generally have the link to his actual channel because I know he's a YouTuber, and I'll have a link to this guy's channel, which is Inside of Mind. So I'll have both links, but that's still not enough for a lot of people. And I get it, I understand it, but it is kind of the nature of the business.
People would take that and put music to it. Party Hard is like the GIF, and then it's been used for many different GIFs, but it's a video I did called the No Bones Dance, and actually Fortnite ended up taking it. And
see, it's a problem. It's a major problem when a major corporation takes something and does it with the express permission of making millions of dollars on something. Whereas, yeah, so I mean, but even then, even a reaction channel that makes $1, that's still taking away from the original creator.
Using it and calling it the Boneless Dance, and even the music is the same from my video. So my stuff started getting stolen a lot, and that started around 2012, and it's still going on today.
While these videos were getting attention from all these other places, Nathan's main channel received the complete opposite. And in 2014, YouTube's algorithm began pushing his channel to the side and started favoring more fresh and upcoming content.
I feel like
All right, that's how YouTube kind of works, though. They always keep trying to push new channels because they kind of have to, otherwise their platform will die. They don't necessarily care about the older channels. They don't care a lot about the way older channels work, because the older channels are, well, yeah, it's good for them from one standpoint. It doesn't draw in new people as easily because new people are, you know, what's 10 years ago, working 10 years ago doesn't necessarily work, 10 years into the future kind of a thing. Each generation kind of shifts and they want to see their generation doing stuff, right? You don't want to be on the older generation necessarily on YouTube. Now, that does flip when you have a, a channel and you're much older. Yeah, no, everyone wants the newest thing. That's kind of how it works. And here's the problem. How many videos are uploaded a day to YouTube? Well, the answer is millions, and there's only so many people watching. Most people stick within their 20 to 30 subscriber counts, or 20 to 30 favorite channels, and we'll go with that, because a lot of them don't even subscribe.
2014 to 17 is when I was really trying to, I was struggling to keep my Nathan channel afloat. I would put videos out, but no one would see them, no one would get notifications. And I'd make posts, and I'd make posts on Twitter and Instagram, and people would say oh, I didn't even know you were uploading still.
All right, to be fair, the way notifications work, and what a lot of people don't realize, especially you'll know more if you do a lot of videos like me, only 3 of your notifications ever go out on any one given day. It's so, a lot of channels that upload a ton of things can't just spam everyone. So you only get 3 total notifications per day. As for what YouTube does with other stuff, what a lot of people do is that when they'll subscribe, they will never click the bell notification, but there's a limit to how many bell notifications you can have. So what a lot of people don't realize is they're like, well, I was subscribed with the bell notification on, but I haven't gotten one in a while. Well, you probably did, but the problem is you have 3,000 other bell notifications, and YouTube can only push 20 of them per day. So you're only going to get 20 per day, and it's going to be on the biggest channels. So, and the ones you watch the most. It's all based off of which ones you watch the most. So if Nathan uploads a video once every 2 weeks, and a band you really love uploads a video once a week, and you watch that video on repeat more often than his video, then you're going to get their notification and potentially not his notification, even though it's clicked. So notifications are kind of weird. I have 0.005% of my bell notifications are ever clicked. All my views come from randos on the internet who don't even bother subscribing, which is fine. I don't care about that.
YouTube didn't tell me, so I was kind of victim of the algorithm, I guess, of no one knowing I was uploading, and people kept tweeting me saying, when are you going to do a new Trailer House video? And I was like, I just did one.
Okay, so why wasn't he uploading the link on Twitter? At the time, did Twitter not allow links or something? Because you could be like, oh, here it is. Because every time a major upload comes out, a lot of people, what they do is they upload it on YouTube, and then they grab the YouTube link, and then they click it onto Twitter and be like, here's my video.
This week, and they were like, oh, I didn't know. So I was really disheartened with putting effort into my videos and filming them and doing all this work.
Don't forget, his videos are much more dangerous than the average person, but he's also not pranking people, which is a big thing for me, because I hate those idiots that go around pranking people, especially in other countries, which makes, it makes it so whenever I go visit those countries, it's a literal nightmare, because people are like, oh, you're this type of person.
To like not get any views, I was just kind of like, this isn't working. And that I'm an actor, so like I rely on like getting acting work and then making my YouTube videos when I'm not, getting work or there's no auditions. So if there was a point in 2017 where I hadn't booked a job in a while and I had $1,000 left and my rent was $1,500, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I wasn't making anything off of YouTube because no one was watching the videos. And I actually bought a van. I sold my car and I bought a van in anticipation of having to move into it in a couple months because I didn't have enough money to pay for rent anymore, and I didn't know.
Well, at least he was smart in that regard. We've watched a few YouTubers who are going through hard times, and they refused. They refuse to either go get a job at like Target or McDonald's or something. And they're like, well, I'm just going to be homeless. Versus, oh, maybe I should buy a van because that way I can live in it. So that way I'm not going to be completely screwed.
What was going to happen. So, and this was right when I had just filmed a batch of dad videos, and I was editing them. And I thought, well, I'll upload these videos. And I actually thought about how I might have to go to the library to like upload more videos, because I'm always going to film stuff and edit things and load stuff. Even if I was homeless, I would still do it because that's like what I want to do. But I had...
yes. The starving artist complex.
Had it all set up so that I could live in my van. And my brother Seth actually lived in a van for a couple of years. Granted, he parked in front of our apartment and would come in, but living in a...
Okay. See, that's a type of prank I could get behind because he's not actually hurting anyone, okay? Although he could have. Like, obviously he could see through there. So, oh, I went too far back.
Still do it because that's like what I want to do.
Go back.
But I had it all set up so that I could live in my van. And my brother Seth actually lived in a van for a couple of years. Granted, he parked in front of our apartment and
just walking. I wonder if she was part of the skit though. Maybe
would come in, but
I don't know. It kind of looked like she just wasn't paying attention.
Living in a van wasn't like a weird thing to me because my brother did it, and I saw how
he's like, where the heck am I?
It could be easy to do if I needed to. So I was fully prepared to move into my van. I had a bed and I had everything ready to go in case I had to move into it.
While coming incredibly close to losing his home and having plans to move into his...
I'm actually more surprised that shelf held up a person versus just cracking.
van, Nathan finally got round to uploading a project he'd been working on for a while.
Okay, so this is an actual legit channel. Okay. I didn't know if Dad Feels was the actual original channel. I thought it was just some side channel from like some random re-uploader. But I'm glad that it's his actual channel. So either way, I'm going to link them both channels in every description just to be safe.
I wanted to do something different and something that wasn't as comedy driven, but I was also so frustrated with what these people just taking my stuff. I thought it was kind of a good concept for a story where people knew, this is like my audience knew that my stuff was being stolen all the time. It was like something I was always complaining about, and they would help me, tag me in things so I could at least get credit for stuff. So I thought, what a cool way for me to start a story if I said, hey guys, it's still happening. Someone went really far this time and they started deep faking me completely, and they're making a whole series with my face.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought that would make people really want to watch this series, to keep their eye on it, to be like, whoa, this is actually pretty impressive that they could steal this guy's face, and I want to watch it to see what they're going to do.
The main focus of the project was around a stereotypical American family.
Now, we've only seen We've only seen part 1. I didn't know it was created, though, because he was tired of people stealing content. That's actually pretty interesting.
Quite literally, to the point where most of the characters don't actually have real names and are only referred to as their role in the family. Dad is called dad, daughter is called daughter, mother is called mother, and sometimes wife. The main story behind it all was that Dad was a robot created by the wife, Cheryl, to be her cash cow.
Oh. Interesting. Well, I guess that's a spoiler, but oh well.
And make money online to fund her science experiments, because she was the only one out of all of them that was real, that and the neighbor.
Originally, it was going to be
Okay, that's interesting.
just nothing. Nathan had nothing to do with it. It was going to be Cheryl made these robots to, you know, be this like dancing monkey on YouTube, this like wholesome, you know, appealing, funny guy, like a sitcom. Like there's always like the goofy dad, and then there's like the attractive wife, and that's kind of like what they always do in sitcoms. So I was using that.
I like how that computer is. Huh. Trying to figure out what that thing is, because it's just got like an extension cord plugged into it. I mean, it's got like a, okay.
That mentality where I had my friend Erica, who's a pretty woman, and I was like, well, this will be funny. I'll just take the whole sitcom trope and angle and do that. But then I had to add the Nathan thing into the story because everyone was so confused by what my marketing ploy of them stealing my face. So I added Cheryl tried taking Nathan and mind controlling him, and it didn't work. So then she had to make bots that looked a lot like him because Nathan's mind was too strong.
After incorporating more cryptic stuff into the channel,
Okay, now I'm just confused.
he was then covered by several other YouTubers that talked about strange stuff online, which brought the dad story to a much bigger audience that Nathan was not expecting.
There was more
Oh, Matt Pack, huh? Yeah, okay, there you go.
activity on the dad channel with 5,000 subscribers than there was on my Nathan channel with almost 400,000. And then when I started like getting the full videos uploaded, my ad revenue was going up, and I had the Nathan channel and the dad channel now, and it literally saved my life, and I didn't have to move out of the house. So that's
Yeah.
dad saved me.
Dad saved.
Yep.
He's never gonna let you live that down, you know?
Nope.
Not only has Dad saved Nathan's life, but it's given him the platform to experiment with different projects that he's wanted to work on for quite some time. Now he makes music, he live streams, he's even started his own
Oh, live streaming was definitely a smart idea.
investigation series called Reality, which is a parody of videos like mine and Game Theorists, where he makes up theories about other YouTubers and other stuff that he's
Okay, I might have to buy that food mug.
just finds interesting. I get a lot of people saying they don't watch Dad because it's too much story to keep up with, but the truth is, most of the content on Dad
Well, that just means that a lot of YouTubers have no attention span. Maybe they should go on TikTok, you know, assuming it doesn't get 100% banned.
doesn't really connect to each other anymore. Dad is more of a YouTube personality that Nathan has created for himself, which is kind of genius when you think about it, because now he can pretty much have that second chance that he's
Yeah, but okay, so let's say it is a YouTube personality that he's created for himself. That's a good one, because a lot of the YouTube personalities that a lot of creators make end up being really bad for them.
been looking for on a completely new channel.
Paper, coffee cup, and eternal dedication to the corporation.
This may be my last video on Nathan and Dad, as I don't feel like there's any more to really say. I think Dad is an interesting channel, but I also feel Nathan's life has been an interesting roller coaster that shouldn't go unnoticed. We tend to hear a lot of success stories around YouTube,
That's so funny.
and while Nathan's is still a success story,
I would love to see that, like a convention.
it does kind of address some of the hard times that we don't always see people go through. Not every YouTuber is in that 1% that makes millions. Some
Nope, I'm not in the 1%. I'm in the make a $100 threshold check every 5 months category.
can struggle to barely make even. I wish the best
Oh, I
to
don't
any
even
of the
make even.
creators out there that are going through what Nathan went through or worse. I hope one day you get
To be fair, reaction channels should never make a living in most cases, in my eyes. I think this should be just something you do for fun, and if you're lucky, it pays for your camera to be upgraded once a year. It pays for your mic to be upgraded maybe once every 2 years. and it buys groceries once every 6 months.
Get your second chance too. Take care, everyone. I'll see
Side note,
you in the next video.
Side note, Inside of Mind has a fantastic just listening voice. So definitely go check out their channel. Go check out the Dad channel and go check out Nathan Barnett's channel. I'm gonna have a link to all 3 of these channels in my description today. But yeah, that was really good. I really like that. And I am aware of you know how reaction channels do work. But there is still a difference, and it's a big enough difference that to outright just like stealing content and re-uploading it with no changes to it. There is a difference. It's not a huge difference, I'll admit that, but it is a big enough difference for at least how stuff works. And I think a lot of the way this law was originally intended, unfortunately, was for journalists. It allows journalists to basically upload their story across multiple platforms without being sued, and the same goes for news companies. The problem is it never really updated correctly to how the internet works. So the law is probably just a few too many years behind, and probably needs to be tweaked a bit. Would that be better for the platform? Probably. The problem is, YouTube doesn't really care in a lot of ways because, a lot of people unfortunately love trash reactor content like this. They just do. It's just human nature to want to know what another opinion is on a channel or a video or something, even if you completely disagree with that. And I have a lot of people disagreeing with me on a lot of my videos, which is totally fine. And I love seeing that discourse in the comment section, just calling me an idiot. It's great. I have no complaints there. But yeah, I mean, it's just a complicated issue, and it's not as easy and cut and dry as what a lot of people would like it to be. They'd like it to be a black and white law, and it just isn't. Anyway, have a good day, everyone.